Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Kurt on Cougs. Today we are warming up for BYU's game at UCF. So big game for the Cougs. About to go right into a bye week. So this game is pretty important. If you win this one, you go into the bye week 8-0 and got 2 weeks to prepare for, of course, the Holy War game against Utah. But first of all, taking a look all around the country. Today I don't feel like doing any deep analysis of any other games, so I'm just going to quickly run through a few rapid fire here, give some quick thoughts. So first of all, last night, Boise State, with a last-minute touchdown manages to come back, beat UNLV. Good for the Broncos, especially considering UNLV probably one of the teams that are their biggest competition. They're in the Mountain West. And so, yeah, keeps Boise State in a position as the favorite to make the playoffs as the G5 representative. So, very good for them. Also, today we got Notre Dame playing Navy. Potential playoff implications for that one as well. The Irish sitting at 12th. They're kind of on the bubble right now, of at least at large. So, a win here would be big for them. Well, in the meantime, for Navy, if Boise State were to slip up, then the midshipmen would probably be one of the top candidates to replace them. So, yeah, big game for both teams. You also got Washington versus Indiana. Indiana, a team looking to make it to the playoffs. You got Oklahoma versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss, another team that, needs some wins in order to get back into the playoff discussion. Missouri, Alabama, both teams probably looking at first for a shot at the playoffs. Whoever loses that game, very, very tough. Honestly, pretty unlikely that either one makes it. So, big stakes for both of those teams. Then we got a couple rivalry games that are actually pretty similar. Both contain, matchups that coming into the season I would have thought would be played, with potential conference title implications, playoff implications, but it's totally not like that. Those matchups are Florida State versus Miami. Of course, it's very well known how much Florida State has struggled this year. And Miami, undefeated, of course. Kansas taking on Kansas State. Kansas with a lot of struggles. And Kansas State, of course, with only that one loss against the Cougs. So, yeah. But they're rivalry games. You never know what's going to happen. It's exciting. It's a lot of fun. And then we got LSU, Texas A&M. In my opinion, probably the best game of the day. That's number 8 versus number 14. And so huge playoff implications. Whichever team wins, I think, is in a pretty good spot to make the playoffs. Whoever loses, I don't think they're out of it by any means. I think they can still definitely make it, but definitely would have some work to do in that case. All right, going around BYU sports now. BYU women's soccer last night with a last-minute goal to complete a comeback effort to win 2-1 against Texas Tech. Great way to end the regular season. And now they go into the Big 12 tournament, where they are going to be a 4 seed, and they will be playing the winner of 5 seed Oklahoma State and 12 seed Cincinnati. And then if the Cougars manage to beat whoever that opponent is, they will then play against TCU, number 1 in the conference. So yeah, great stuff for soccer. From what I've been hearing, they seem pretty solid to make the NCAA tournament. So that'll be big. That'll be good. BYU women's cross country up to number 1 in the polls. After last week, they won the pre-nationals. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the pre-nationals meet. So yeah, great job by the ladies doing that. I believe that now that means that, yeah, ladies are number 1, men are number 2. Things are looking great for cross country. So let's go. And then we got BYU women's volleyball. They're currently on a 3-match win streak. With yesterday, they beat Colorado 3-1. Last week, on Friday. Well, no, it was Saturday. That's right. I got to watch the end of their game against Utah, and quite an effort, going on an 8-2 run at the end of the 5th set to win it. And so, yeah, big win for the Cougs over their rivals. And they roll with that 3-game win streak into a big game against number 13 Arizona State. So another chance at an upset, win over a ranked team. So, yeah, good mojo there for BYU women's volleyball. And so now going into this football game. Once again, a lot on the line here. For the Cougs, this game, potential Big 12 championship or playoff implications. Like this, This is big. This is really big. A win here, and you would take the lead, actually, because Iowa State has a bye week this week. So you would take a lead as the #1 team in the Big 12. You got 2 weeks to rest up, then, of course, play the big Holy War game against Utah. And in my opinion, this game and then the game at Utah are probably going to be BYU's toughest of the remaining 5. So, yeah, if you can get through these games 2-0 or at least 1-1, they should be in a pretty good position to contend to make it to the Big 12 title game. And so, lots on the line for the Cougs. In the meantime, for the Knights, they come into this game 3-4. They have really been struggling. 4-game losing streak just last week. Showed what they're capable of. Almost so close to upsetting Iowa State. And so, and that game, funny enough, ended with the same score as BYU versus Oklahoma State, 38-35. Both contained a late touchdown by the ranked team to hold on. And so, yeah, definitely, this UCF team is definitely a team that, despite their struggles so far this year, they are 110% capable of winning this thing. So, yeah, very, very important game. This is a game BYU is actually the underdog in, which is crazy to think an undefeated number 11 in the country team is an underdog against a 3-5 team. Like, that's just wild. But, I guess it does make some sense. BYU coming off that, a little bit of a tough performance against Oklahoma State. Ultimately, you pull out the win, which is all that matters. But definitely raised some concerns in some areas. And honestly, I feel like that, in a way, might have been what was best for the Cougs, because now they come into this game, after a week of practice, being able to have things to fix, being able to, clean some things up. And I think that they're going to go out there, they're going to perform a lot better. They're going to figure things out and be more prepared to take on the Knights. All right, so now I'm going to dive into some deciding factors for today's game. One is to stop the UCF rushing attack. UCF is number 3 in the country in rushing. And despite a lacking passing game, on the back of their running game, they are number 14 in the nation in total offense. So this team, they really know how to run it. They're really good. They got both their quarterback and their running back very capable runners. So, yeah, definitely going to be a challenge for a BYU defense that gave up a lot of yards last week to Oklahoma State's backfield. So, yeah, definitely a tough matchup there. I feel like especially it's just critical. Just don't allow the big runs. Like, at the end of the day, the truth is UCF is going to be able to move the ball on the ground. They're going to pick up yardage and all that. But at the end of the day, if you can just stop them from getting those 15-plus yard plays, keep it all in front of you. It gives you more time to make plays and, yeah, get things done. So, yeah, got to stop the run. Number 2, on the offensive side of things, converting on 3rd down, or 4th, of course, if you get to it. I think it's going to be really important to get those conversions because, for one thing, they'll keep you moving. This is a game I think BYU has an advantage on the offensive side. UCF has not done very well so far this year in pass defense, and so I think that the Cougs should be able to throw the ball. Also, the Knights are kind of an interesting stat here. They are ranked 106th in the nation in 3rd down defense. So among teams in the country, they have been one of the worst at getting stops on 3rd down. So definitely a good opportunity for the Cougs. Also, of course, if you're moving the ball like that, getting those conversions, I believe that will lead to, more rest for the defense, which, they'll need playing against a physical team in UCF. And then last key of the game, I'm just going to say, is consistency. This is a UCF team that, they're good at forcing turnovers. They also give up a lot of turnovers. They have offensive firepower. They can be, opposing offenses can flame them. So, yeah, this is a game where I feel like, either team can definitely go on runs. We can see some big runs in this game. I think BYU just needs to stay consistent, because that's one thing you can't afford, is allowing a big run for UCF, and potentially getting some of your own would really help. And so, yeah, those are my deciding factors for this week's game. And so now for my bold prediction and my overall prediction. My bold prediction for today's game is that, okay, I'm going pretty bold with this one. Road game, things get a little weird. I'm saying they're going to get weird in a good way this week. BYU's been really good at forcing turnovers this year. Has had a couple defensive touchdowns here and there. And I'm saying that this week they are going to get they're going to get at least 2 turnovers. And at least 2 of them are going to be returned for touchdowns. So I don't know. I feel like I'm going pretty bold with that one, but I feel good about it. And this is a game that I think it's going to be close. I think, though, BYU in the second half, they're going to start to pull ahead. Maybe a late effort from UCF, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Cougs take this one. Go to 8-0. Let's go, Cougs.